Welcome. My name is Sandhya Matthews. I'm a senior product specialist with the Fruitful Yield. I've been into the holistic health field for about 45 years, so I've been around a lot of blocks. I've worked for the Fruitful Yield for 10 years. This is for educational purposes only. I am not a doctor. I cannot talk about diseases. I can talk about symptoms. So, yeah. What we're going to do today is we're going to talk about how do you know if you're stressed? Adrenals, why they're important, stress management, a couple kind of like pocket kinds of things you can do, sleep, nutrition, women's hormones. I'm glad to see we have women here because sometimes it's more important to you, and brain and cognition. All these have to do with mental wellness. When you're stressed, keep in mind just simple breathing techniques. Take deep breaths, go on short walks. Why does breathing help? You know how they say breathe if you're upset, right? They tell you to take deep breaths. Well, your diaphragm is right here. Right here, right behind your diaphragm is something called the vagus, V-A-G-U-S, the vagus nerve. When you breathe deeply, you activate the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve activates the parasympathetic nervous system. That's the relaxation, the digestion, the processing. It's not sympathetic. So when you breathe, you're literally stimulating a part of your nervous system that's relaxed. When you feel stressed, it's kind of like we're really stressed in our head. I mean, we feel it in our body, but really where it's coming from is our head. So get present. Like look, what I tell people do is right now in your immediate surrounding, find 3 things that are blue. Are blue, the color blue. Just look for something that's blue. It kind of changes the trajectory your thoughts are on. Attend to what you can see, feel, taste, smell, whatever is in the present moment. And that helps you come back from your racing thoughts and be aware of what right now. Sometimes we live very hectic lives, and sometimes we don't know. My mom used to say, I don't know if I'm coming or going, right? So try to keep simple routines. Try to go on to the grocery store on Saturday and Sunday, and and if it's possible, talk to somebody that you can trust. Whether that's a good friend or somebody in your life who's pretty balanced. Sometimes that can be a pastor or a minister. It's really, I mean, if you look, you can call your local like village community. A lot of times they have counselors that are free. One of the things, and this is within, like, take it with a grain of salt, but especially younger women, like 18 to 21, I recommend they don't counsel with their girlfriend, because they're just going to say, the person might say, oh, I'm so stressed, I can't believe what he did. And their girlfriend would just say, yeah, you're right to be stressed. How dare he do that? They just adds fuel to the fire. It's nobody's going to bring them back to balance and a perspective. So there's nothing wrong with getting somebody to talk to. So mental wellness is not one size fits all. Symptoms of stress can manifest in a lot of ways. Chronic fight or flight, always feeling like you're either running after something or something's running after you. You're just exhausted, like you're running on fumes. And sometimes when you're really stressed, you just lack interest. I mean, I used to like to go for a walk, but I haven't got the energy to go for a walk. So stress can do a lot of things to you. Okay, why do adrenals matter? Chronic stress, all right. You have something adrenals kick out something that's called cortisol. Cortisol is a fight or flight hormone. It's the stress hormone. But actually, good levels of cortisol are good for you. Like cortisol is what wakes you up in the morning. It's what says, okay, it's time to get up. But when we're constantly on fight or flight, what happens is our adrenals just it's like sort of like milking a cow, and the cow's done giving you milk and you're still trying to milk the cow. It hasn't got anything left, and the adrenals just get burned out or fatigued. It's called adrenal fatigue. That can disrupt energy and mood. Now, in perimenopause, which is typically it's from 40 to 50, these days, young women can start perimenopause at 32 because of so many hormone interrupters that are in our society, in our food and stuff. But in perimenopause, the imbalance worsens because the hormonal fluctuations, and they amplify disturbances and fatigue and emotional disruptions, sleep. So we're going to break it up. So signs of adrenal fatigue: problems waking up in the morning, salt cravings, low mood, unexplained weight gain, constant tiredness, brain fog, irritability, sugar cravings. So as we said, the adrenal glands produce cortisol. Elevated cortisol leads to adrenal fatigue, which we already said. Include fatigue, weakened immunity, mood swings, disrupted sleep. So that's just adrenal fatigue. Now and prolonged can affect blood sugar levels and increased inflammation. And the other thing is cortisol, when you have it right here, the weight gain right here, and you're stressed, that's called cortisol belly. Cortisol increases adipose tissue around the belly. Now, it's a little different in perimenopause. During perimenopause, estrogen and progesterone don't just wave, they fluctuate wildly. And the body relies more on the adrenal glands for hormone balance. If the adrenals are exhausted, more things like hot flashes, anxiety, irritability, sleep disturbances can increase. So it's important to support the adrenals because it can help through stress management and hormone transitions. Why? Think of estrogen as excitatory. It's the thing that increases right before you ovulate, and progesterone stays low. So estrogen is increasing until you ovulate, and then it decreases. In the meantime, progesterone's just hanging out, and estrogen is kind of like, that's why people get PMS, is they're like, oh. And then when you don't get pregnant, the body goes, aw, and estrogen drops down. And now progesterone, the peace hormone, of course I'm using an analogy, it comes up and says, I got you, girl. And estrogen goes down and progesterone comes up, so you're more calm after you have not gotten pregnant. So what's the big deal about adrenals? A healthy adrenal gives your body pregnenolone. Pregnenolone, it's a hormone. Why is that important? Pregnenolone converts to estrogen and progesterone, whatever you need in real time. So let's say you're hyper with estrogen and your progesterone's trying to help you, but it just can't get up there. Adrenals will kick out some pregnenolone. Your body says, got it, and it switches it to progesterone, and it gives you that. Exhausted adrenals can't do that. Pregnenolone. We will bring it up again. This is not the end. So this is the first supplement I'm going to talk about. It's Adrenalplex. This is it. I love this one. This is one of my top 5 supplements that the Fruitful Yield carries. I recommend this one a lot. So I don't want to just have you believe something's good for you because I said so. I want to give you a little bit of information. An educated consumer is the best consumer or the best customer. So why do I recommend this one? Well, it supports the adrenal gland function, adrenal hormone balance, helps manage stress-related fatigue. It helps with optimal physical and mental health. So let's talk about what is in it, because that's the most important part. First of all, the adrenals require vitamin C to work. A glass of orange juice is not enough. You need to take a supplement. This has vitamin C. Adrenals require vitamin C to work. And vitamin C, you know how they say, why take vitamins? I hear you just pee them out, right? Well, vitamins C and B vitamins are what you pee out. They're water soluble. B's and C's are what you pee, not the rest of them. So it's important to take vitamin C, and you'll see in a few minutes vitamins B every day because you cycle them out. You don't store them. So anyway, vitamin C is very important. B6, you're going to see that several times. It's sort of like the peace B vitamin. It's a very calming B vitamin. Pantothenic acid and rumania just help with stress levels. Thyroxine. All right, so this is a typical situation. What happens usually when people have a baby, you know, as women, and I know, but as women, we're supposed to, you know, be a counselor to our kids and be there for our husband and work and keep the house in order and be this magical person and never be tired and just keep it going all the time, right? We're just supposed to do it all and smile in the process. And we burn ourselves out. We burn ourselves out. And then especially when we have kids, because now we're a mom and that's a lot. So what typically happens is the mom or the woman gets really tired and they go to the doctor and she says, Doc, I'm just really exhausted all the time. And the doctor says, I think I know what it is. He takes some blood work and he says, it's your thyroid. Your thyroid. Here's some thyroid medicine. So they take the thyroid medicine and they start to feel better. But what was not addressed? The adrenals. So let me back up and tell you what could have happened. What typically happens is the adrenals burn out. Cortisol, 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 cortisol. And it says, I can't do this anymore. So your body is trying to help because the adrenals kick out the go juice, the cortisol. So the thyroid says, I'll help you. So the tiny thyroid goes down and tries to help the adrenals, sends some energy down there. It's called T3. Sends some down there. Well, now that tiny organ is running 3 organs, itself and the thyroid, itself and the 2 adrenals. Then it gets tired and it says, I can't help you guys anymore. I'm burnt out. So then you go to the doctor and the doctor says, oh yeah, it's your thyroid. But again, what was not addressed? The adrenals. So what happens over time is they start you out at a little bit of thyroid medicine. And then in about 5 years, you have to bump it up again. And then in about 5 years, you have to bump it up again. So most people start at about 0.25, and by the end of their life, they're at 125. Thyroid medicine is not bad. I encourage you to take it. But what was never addressed? The adrenals. It's an organ. If you dropped a big boulder on your foot, you would address your foot. You wouldn't just say, I'll wear a boot forever. She's wearing a boot. But, you wouldn't say, oh, well, I'll just limp forever. Well, because we can't see the adrenal, we don't realize it needs help. So this formula is about addressing the adrenals. Thyroxine, it's kind of obvious to me, L-thyroxine is what the thyroid, it's an amino acid that the thyroid needs. Remember, the The thyroid and the adrenals are pretty closely connected. This is one of the key ingredients. See, this and pregnenolone and DHEA are the key ingredients. So adrenal extract, why is that a big deal? Have you ever been so distraught that you didn't know where to start? There was just so much going on, you don't even know where to begin, right? Okay, so when the adrenal is burnt out, it needs something, but it's not even sure what it needs anymore. So adrenal extract is literally a dehydrated adrenal gland. It's bovine, it is not vegetarian. So let's see. We all have gym shoes. So usually I pick out somebody who has boots, like leather boots, and other people have gym shoes. And I say, you can't make a gym shoe out of a leather boot. You can't. You can't use heart amino acids or proteins to make a liver, right? Adrenal glands have a specific composition. And when you give it adrenal extract, it says, oh, I need one of those, and I need one of those, and I need one of those, and this is good as food. So it literally acts homeopathically, if you know what that means, like treats like. It literally acts in a way that reminds, not only helps your adrenals, but it reminds your adrenals what a healthy adrenal looks like. It's amazing. When I take this, I feel it in 20 minutes. I feel like, oh, yeah. Now, for somebody else, it might take you a day and a half, a week maybe. But if you have an adrenal issue and you do a box of this and you don't feel anything, you didn't have an adrenal issue. So what else is here? Licorice. Guess what? Do you know what licorice does? Licorice helps with blood pressure, right? Why? Why is that a big deal? Well, not only does adrenals handle cortisol, but it also regulates your electrolytes. It regulates your blood pressure. Yes. How many people do you know who went on thyroid medicine and then shortly after that, the doctor put them on a high blood pressure medicine? What was never addressed? The adrenals. Are you seeing the pattern here? Right. And it's not too late, by the way. I started on adrenals when I was 55. So it's not too late. Romania, pregnenolone. We just talked about that. It's the converter hormone. It converts to estrogen or progesterone, whatever you need. In real time, whatever your body needs at that time, that's what it converts to. And then the last one is DHEA, just as important as the rest. So let's talk about DHEA, all right? Now I'm going to use a metaphor, okay? So adrenal gland, let's say that I'm shooting out cortisol, right? Okay, so now I'm also a house and I want to water my garden. So I have a garden hose and I'm shooting out water, okay? So let's say that I want to water my garden and I start the hose and I water and then that's enough. And I go to turn it off and the spigot breaks. Now it's stuck on, right? Well, for the adrenal gland, when the cortisol is kicking out constantly, sometimes when the adrenal goes to back it down, to slow it down, the spigot breaks. The spigot is DHEA. Now, why is that a big deal? Because an exhausted adrenal can't make DHEA hardly anymore. So it can't even regulate its own cortisol. So that's a very good symptom of somebody who says, yeah, they tell me to calm down and I try relaxing, I try taking salt baths, but I just can't seem to shut it down. I just am always just agitated. I just can't calm down. I try. And so do you see now that I explained it, what a beautiful preparation this is? This is an amazing formula. It's 2 a day, preferably taken in the morning because the best time to take it is in the morning. Fantastic supplement. Now, for those of you who are vegan or vegetarian, you don't do bovine, this is an herbal supplement. and it's vegan. Is it as strong as the other one? No, it's not. Does it have those adrenal extracts? No. But this has holy basil, ashwagandha, shishandra. So why would this be a good thing for somebody who has adrenal issues? Okay, remember adrenal has to do with stress, right? So even stress, a lot of cortisol, not enough energy, right? Those are what's called adaptogens. They're Ayurvedic herbs that literally balance out stress. They literally balance out stress. But I like to say that I like to remember them as having slightly different personalities. They don't really have personalities, but that's how I like to talk about it because I think it's relatable. So holy basil, see that one over there? Holy basil. Have you ever been so stressed you just want somebody to care? You just wish somebody cared. Holy basil. Holy basil is in India, it's the herb of the Divine Mother. When I take holy basil, I just feel like it's okay. Just breathe. It's okay. It's okay. Ashwagandha. How many people have heard about ashwagandha? Okay, ashwagandha literally means smells like horse. That's the definite, or the what it translates to. Ashwagandha balances stress, but it's also like a stallion. It gives you confidence and resilience, and it does balance out stress. Some people use it for sleep, although it doesn't make you sleepy. It just balances out the stress. And then shishandra. Shishandra is a funny one. I call it the drama queen. So if somebody is, it helps with emotional balance. So let's say, for instance, let's say somebody comes to work and they say, oh, I got a ticket on the way to work. I missed that light and I got a ticket. I'm sorry I'm late. I got to go punch him. So that's normal. Somebody who's over emotional who could use shishandra would be, oh my God, it was so scary. This cop pulled over and he had sunglasses and a hat. I was so terrified. I didn't even know I missed the light. And I'm so sorry. I mean, they were just like making a big, long, big deal about it. And it's not to say that that's wrong. It's just a little over the top, right? So that's shishandra. So this has other herbs in it too, but those are the biggest ones. So this is more for a balanced, emotional, confidence, nurturing kind of effect. So what are some, we're going to talk about stress a little bit. What are some indicators of stress, problematic stress? So frequent headaches or muscle tension, irritability and sudden mood swings. We know if somebody comes in and says, I'm stressed out or I have anxiousness, we know they're not sleeping well. It just is what it is. Or another thing is if you wake up at 2 a.m. every night, you probably have adrenal issues because that's typically when you wake up. It's about 2 a.m. Trouble focusing and making decisions. Now, I just said if you come in and you say you're stressed or you say you can't sleep, we'll maybe have a conversation and ask you to go a little bit deeper and explain what's going on. Why am I bringing these up? Because almost every company we have out there, almost every brand we have out there, they would recommend that you do an adrenal supplement and or a stress supplement. And a sleep supplement, you'd stack it. So you take the stress supplement in the morning and the sleep supplement at night. Why? Because we know you're not sleeping. And have you ever, okay, cortisol. Have you ever stubbed your toe? Hurts, right? Like it hurts. And then you kind of get past it. And then if it happened late in the day, you lay down and you didn't even notice it, but you lay down and all of a sudden throb, 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 throb. All of a sudden you're aware of it. So when you're stressed out all day and you're pumping cortisol all day, you just think that that's normal until you try to sleep. And then it's like throb, throb. That cortisol is just keeping you up. So that's why it's important to take something for stress, whether it's the adrenals or anxiety. This is an example of what you could take, and a sleep supplement. Usually they say take both for about 3 months, actually, both for about 3 months. And then after that, if you've made some adjustments in your life, you can typically drop one. It depends on what's going on in your life. The extra strength is great, but I really don't think you need the extra strength. The regular strength works just fine. So I actually want to go back. Like I said, I don't think you need the extra strength. So I'm just going to talk about anxiety here. Ashwagandha we just talked about, right? It gives you confidence. I like to say it gives you mojo, you know. Theobromine. Theobromine is in dark chocolate. That's why we like chocolate. I mean, if you think about it, who really would eat that? I mean, if you taste it, it's kind of bitter and stuff. It's the theobromine. In our industry, we call it the bliss ingredient. It makes you feel happy. It makes you feel happy. L-theanine and GABA. L-theanine slows neurotransmission. It actually makes you smarter because it segments block thoughts. Have you ever woken up or sat down or just tried to sit down and your brain is going, woo, 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 woo. It's your mind is just racing, right? That's an overactive mind. L-theanine slows neurotransmission. It's very nice. It also is really good with a cup of coffee because 200 milligrams or a dose of L-theanine balances 100 milligrams of caffeine. So that slows neurotransmission. Kava kava is a body calm. It just calms your body. GABA is very unique. L-theanine is a precursor to GABA, but GABA works differently. You know how you have those negative thoughts? Oh, you're not good enough. Oh, you're never going to get it right. Oh, she doesn't like me. She's never going to like me. Whatever it is, whatever your negative thought is, right? GABA is a catcher's mitt. Your negative thinking literally has a different neurochemistry. It has a different chemistry. And GABA says, come here. Come here. I know what to do with you. And it goes in there and it just calms down. So do you see how this is such an excellent chutzpah, bliss, slows neurotransmission, body calm, can help deal with those negative thinkings? Do you see how perfect that is? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is fantastic stuff. And it does not make you feel tired. You can take it any time of the day, whatever you choose. I would take both of them at once. I literally saw this work in 5 minutes. They say that it takes 20 to 30 minutes. So one day I was at work and I was at the register. I could see the girl walking in who worked for us. And she was walking in and she was talking on the phone. All of a sudden her body just like, she got really bad news. You could see her body just kind of crumpled walking in. And she comes in and she said, I just found out my brother-in-law has stage 4 lung cancer. I was like, oh man, that's terrible. I'm so sorry. So she was crying a little bit. She went in the back room and, she was back there. I was working and I went back to check on her and she was feeling sad. And I said, we talked a little bit and I said, do you want some anxiety? And she said, sure. So I gave her 2 because I had some in my locker. I gave her 2. I swear, as I am standing here, I came back 5 minutes later. This woman was humming. She was working on the cart and she was humming. I had never seen anything like that before. It's amazing stuff. It's amazing stuff. And this basically said everything I said. Promotes relaxation, reduces restlessness within the body, quiets the mental chatter. It says it works within 30 minutes and it's non-drowsy. This is not habit forming and it is not drowsy. Would you take it every day if you're stressed? Yes, I would recommend that you take it every day because when we're stressed all the time, we think that this is normal. Being stressed and hyper is normal, and our body has to get used to a more even keel. So yes, I would recommend finishing the bottle and taking it every day. Goli gummies. We just talked about ashwagandha. Now this is a unique. So I do recommend a formula if you're stressed, but you can also stack this for later in the day. You can stack it. That means you could take this later. And a secret is, it's not a secret because I'm telling you, but several of the managers in the Fruitful Yield chain has this product at their desk. And when somebody called off and it's really busy outside and the delivery just came in and the freezer went down and they're stressed, they reach over, grab a couple of these, put it back, and move on because they need some help too. So a lot of the managers use this. I've seen it on many a desk. All right, so now we're going to move to something different. We've been talking about adrenals and stress. We're going to talk about something called low mood. I can't use the diagnostic term, but we're going to talk about low mood. Feeling of helplessness, hopelessness, feelings of despair. This is different than anxiousness. Do you understand that? Lack of interest in things that used to be enjoyable. Difficulty concentrating, making decisions in daily life. Mood stability is different than anxiety. So what does it have in it? It has saffron. Saffron uplifts mood. Now, it's very important to understand that, in fact, the anxiety as well, when you're on an SSRI or an antipsychotic drug, you cannot take these things, okay? Because they are SSRIs. They are natural serotonin reuptake inhibitors. So kava kava, theanine, and GABA, you can't take if you're on an SSRI, okay? If you're wondering what they are, you're probably not on one. People who are on them know what they are. Saffron is a natural SSRI. It makes you feel really happy. I used to throw that in my car, and on the way home, I would take one because I wanted to be uplifted when I got home. I didn't want to have myself all used up from the day and have nothing for my husband, right? Rhodiola again is another adaptogen. And what rhodiola does, and you shouldn't take rhodiola late in the day because it gives you energy and balance. Have you ever been so tired that you can't get off the couch? You want to go do that. You really, really want to do that, but you just ain't. It's like Velcro gotcha. You just can't get up. Rhodiola rolls you off the couch and gets you going. It not only balances out stress, but it gives you some energy to get it going. L-theanine, we talked about that, slows neurotransmission. D3 is very important for the immune system. It helps with mood. 5-HTP, again, if you're on an SSRI, you cannot take 5-HTP. Again, if you're on SSRI, you can't take this. But if you're not, yay. The only downside to 5-HTP, if you consider it that, is it can give you more vivid dreams. I like dreaming. I really get into dreaming, so I don't mind it. This is for somebody with low mood and if you need emotional strength. So this would be for somebody with low mood. Remember I said this Adrenalplex is my top product out in the store? This stress relief is the second. This you can use, well, you can't use it if you're on an SSRI or psychotic medication, but if you're not, you can use this for low mood and anxiousness. This is crazy good stuff. It's crazy good stuff, and it works very quickly. So I'm just going to go through some of the things that it does because that's the way I do things. So this is the formula unraveled. For mood and stress support, it has banana peel, mucuna, St. John's wort. St. John's wort, again, is a natural SSRI. So organic banana peel, it actually helps with L-tryptophan, which converts to serotonin, a neurotransmitter that promotes emotional balance. B6, which aids serotonin, and dopamine. Dopamine is the feel-good hormone. You know how sometimes you eat something, like you maybe have some junk food or something when you're feeling kind of low because you want to lift your mood? Well, from here to here, it works, because what it does is it literally triggers dopamine. But I always say it works from here to here, and after that, I regret it. So in these cases, something like this can literally help you with dopamine. That's one of the reasons that I like to take saffron, that helps with that. Mucona purines help with L-DOPA. It's a direct precursor, again, of dopamine. Oh, it helps regulate, that's supposed to be motivation, sorry. Motivations, pleasure, and emotional well-being. The same formula helps with cognitive enhancement. It has bacopa. Bacopa actually is used in monasteries and ashrams, so the monks, the priests, can focus in meditation and prayer. SAMe boosts, it's very, very good for low mood. It boosts neurotransmitter production. This is all in the same supplement. Mood stability and sense of calm. Lithium. Lithium is amazing. I know when I grew up, I was like, don't crazy people take lithium? Well, yeah, in really high doses, they need it to, they're not crazy, but they need it to balance their neurology. But in low doses, what lithium feels like to me when I take it, because I remember there was a point in my life where my life was really nice, like really nice. And I'd wake up and I'm like, that's nice. And I went to my chiropractor and she did this test on me and she says, oh, you have almost no lithium. I'm like, so? She says, well, that's why you're feeling so apathetic about your life. I started taking lithium and I'm like, oh my goodness, that was it. So it's very good about like just being interested in life. At least for me, I still take lithium every day. Passion flower, pure mushrooms help relaxation and reduce nervous tension for emotional stability. And then again, 5-HTP, it helps enhance mood, sleep, and emotional wellness. So that's that supplement. It's a fantastic supplement. It's just great. So most of us jet around. We just fly around, all this, that, like and when we're stressed, we burn through something called B vitamins, like jet fuel. Remember I said B's and C's are what you pee. So what's the big deal about B vitamins? Have you ever noticed they help the nervous system? Have you ever noticed when somebody's agitated, they don't say, I'm blue or I'm a pretzel. They say, I'm nervous. The language says what the problem is. Their nervous system is haywire. So I'll explain. So imagine that we have a stimulus, okay? Let's say, gotta cook dinner, okay? And the response, starting to cook dinner, right? Okay, so a healthy response, it's like a chain. The nervous system says, time to cook dinner. Proceed to cook dinner. Get dinner made. So if you're short on B vitamins, imagine that I take a razor blade and I cut little chinks in the casing on the wire, right? Make dinner. Proceed to make dinner. Eventually it gets, but it's more like this than this. Literally, if you don't have enough B vitamins, it can be that way. And we burn through B vitamins like jet fuel. I had a friend who was caretaking someone, and this person was having a real problem. Like they were shaking incredibly. And so she called me and said that, And I said, oh, well, make sure you call his doctor. But for right now, I know he has B vitamins in the refrigerator. Give him B vitamins. So she gave him a dose of the liquid B vitamins. He had liquid B vitamins. Within less than a minute, within a few seconds, his whole system calmed down. And she said, oh my God, he stopped shaking. It was because he was so stressed, he burned all his B vitamins out and he had nothing. Does it always help that way? No. But B vitamins can be very, very important. And remember, B's and C's are what you pee. They have to be replenished every day. This is a really good one. It's 2 a day. I would recommend that you take them in the morning. Don't take B vitamins late in the afternoon because they do give you energy. So take them in the morning or maybe lunch. Why did I pick this one? It's doctor formulated. It's literally doctor formulated. So not only is it doctor formulated, it's methylated, coenzymated, bioavailable, it's a whole food base, and it's doctor tested. Like the doctor uses this formula with his patients and they get regular blood work. They're his patients. So I know this works. It's a fantastic supplement. It has methylated coenzymated Bs, which means you can absorb them. There's no problem with that. It's a very, very good vitamin. Another thing that is important for, and again, you would choose whatever seems to be more of your issue. Magnesium can be very calming. So think of this. Calcium contracts a muscle. Magnesium allows the muscle to relax. If you take a ton of calcium, you're gonna be tight. You need magnesium to let go. You know how they say to drink water, right? They say to drink water, it's good for you. Do you know that if you drink fluoridated water, water that has fluoride in it, that fluoride binds the magnesium and makes it unavailable to you. So the more fluoridated water you drink, the less bioavailable the magnesium is. So you're getting water, but you might be depleting yourself with magnesium. Magnesium is responsible for 300 different things in your body. It's critical for 300 different functions in your body. 80% of Americans are low in magnesium. Did I say 80%? Yeah, 80%. So why did I pick this one? Because it has 7 different forms of magnesium. So magnesium supports sleep, weight management, encourages mood, aids in muscle recovery. It does really help calm, it helps relax, and it contributes to healthy bone function. So why are 7 chelates necessary? You have a key to your house, right? Will it fit in her house? No. So if I gave you a chunk of magnesium or even straight up magnesium powder, you could put it in your mouth, but it would just pass through. You wouldn't be able to absorb it. It has to be chelated. So the different chelates send it to different parts, or it makes it available to be used by different parts of your body. So glycinate is more for relaxation and immune. Taurate, think taurate ticker. Taurate's good for your heart. Citrate and orotate, think of commode. It'll help you poop. All right. It also helps you calm, and it helps you sleep. So different magnesiums do different things. So that's why this one is good, because it has 7 different kinds. It's a very good one. This is my husband's favorite. It's the raspberry tart. Oh, yeah. Raspberry, hold on. Oh, actually, he likes the tart cherry. He actually likes the tart cherry, but raspberry is good too. This one has 8 different chelates in it, 8 different types of magnesium, and it's really good. You can mix it in with things. It's very good. It's like Kool-Aid. So magnesium plays an important role in the body's stress response. Low levels can worsen anxiety and stress. Think of it. you're stressed and you can't let go. It literally, you need magnesium to let go. If you ever get magnesium spray, like we have topical magnesium. I remember one time my traps were tight. So I, just before I sat down to meditate, because Jessica, my colleague, told me to try it. So I did. I sprayed it on my traps and I sat down to meditate. I'm just sitting there and I literally felt my muscles go. I was like, whoa. Like I felt it in real time. It was really cool. Magnesium glycinate is one of the popular ones. It helps reduce stress levels. It can also help sleep quality. Don't, please, I mean, okay, fine if you want to, but please don't take your magnesium during the day. Take it at night. It makes you feel drowsy. You don't want to feel drowsy during the day. It helps calm your nerves. It decreases muscle tension. It helps sleep quality. By the way, vitamins in the morning, vitamins vavum, vitamins help support the quality of your nutrition. Muscle minerals, think mechanic at night. You're fixing things. Magnesium is necessary for making serotonin, and that is a neurotransmitter that affects mood and mental health. It supports healthy brain biochemistry. That's magnesium. If you're not sleeping, I don't know about you, but you don't want to be around me if I don't get enough sleep for a couple days. I'm not nice. I try to be, yeah. So what's important is falling asleep, staying asleep, improving sleep in the short term helps with daytime alertness and uplifted mood and clarity. So don't eat heavy, don't use blue light before bed. If you're using your iPad, you have a night setting. It turns yellow. Blue light keeps you up. Alcohol, you may think that it's going to put you to sleep, but what happens is you get your sugar lift, and then when you get that sugar drop, the sugar drop will wake you up because the body's saying, whoa, my sugar drop, wake up. We need to get a little bit of sugar here. So alcohol can actually make you stay up. Some people can drink caffeine and go to bed. I don't understand that. I know people can do it. Sure can do it. I can't do it. And when you're really stressed, you just play the stress in your head. Remember I was telling you about if you stub your toe and then you go to bed? When you're stressed, that cortisol, and you lay down, it's like, oh! You can take gentle walks, set your alarm, have cool nighttime. Don't turn the heat up. Have a bedtime routine. And by the way, the hot baths, I would recommend you don't take a hot bath right before bed because the heat warms your body up so much that it'll keep you up. So I don't take a hot bath after like 7:30 because I know it'll just keep me up half the night. Kokora is a non-melatonin. I'm a melatonin baby. I like taking melatonin, but some people don't like it. They don't want to do it. So this one is an herbal supplement. Passion flower and lemon balm are body calm. Ashwagandha we already talked about. Skull cap is cool. So, okay, what skull cap does is it's like it shushes your thinking. So this is fun, so I like to use this. So, okay, so I'm thinking, right, and I have a stressful thought. So see that as like a curl of smoke, right? So I'm thinking and I have a stressful thought. And then I see that stressful thought, and that causes more stressful thoughts. And then I'm thinking, oh my gosh, now look at all those stressful thoughts. So I get more on my mind, right? And then it builds and builds and builds, and I have more and more stress on, right? And you know that makes me a moron. Moron stress. And of course, I'm not calling anybody a moron. I'm just trying to be funny. But when you get a lot on your mind, when you're thinking so much, you can't make sense of it anymore. Skull cap is amazing. It goes shh. It's like putting a skull cap on. It's amazing stuff. The first time I tried it, I was like, oh, whoa, this is awesome. Just very like shh. So it's really good. Rest C, again, I don't think you need the extra strength. This brand, Life Seasons, we don't have a bad brand. Everything in the store has been vetted, down to the gum. Everything has been vetted. We don't have a bad brand. And Life Seasons, every single one of their brands, whatever is on the front of the label has been clinically proven to help that issue and is in the clinically proven dose. So if you bought all of these separate, 15, 30, 45, 60, this would be $75 worth of things because they're in the clinically proven dose. This Russie is $28. Melatonin puts you to sleep, but it doesn't keep you asleep. A lot of people say, I tried melatonin, but I just get up a few hours later. Well, yeah, melatonin puts you to sleep, it doesn't keep you asleep. When you use blue light, it stops melatonin. If you get up at night to go to the bathroom, which is not a bad thing, don't turn on the light. If you have to have a small, dim nightlight, fine. If you turn that light on, you now just stopped all melatonin and you're starting cortisol to wake you up. Don't turn on a light. Melatonin is great for putting you to sleep. It's also good for you if you get up in the middle of the night. Like if you wake up at 2 in the morning and you're like, oh, I can't go back to sleep. If you have 4 or 5 hours of time left to sleep, take some melatonin. It'll put you right back to sleep, right? If you have 1 or 2 hours, don't do that because it's going to make you feel pretty tired. It's great stuff. Vitamins in the morning. How would you do in the winter if you had shoes that had holes in the sole? It would be wet. It would be uncomfortable. You would wear out your socks, right? We have a very hard time, even if we eat all organic, getting nutrition. In the past, 6 years ago, we had to eat 1 carrot to get the nutrition we needed. Now it's 3 to 6 carrots to get the same nutrition as 1 carrot. Back then, I don't know about you, but I can't eat 6 carrots. I literally can't eat that much food. Take a multivitamin. It fills nutritional gaps. Even if you take 1 a day, it doesn't matter. I mean, preferably not a Flintstone, but we have really good vitamins. You don't have to do this one. It's good. I think it's a 1 a day or a 2 a day, but it has all kinds of organic food blend in it. But whatever you do, our associates can help you take a multivitamin. Vitamins in the morning, vavoom. We want good gasoline. We want good energy. Minerals at night. And by the way, some people say, oh, I take vitamins and I just get tired of it. I stop taking them. Stop taking them every week. And this is what I mean. There are certain supplements I take every day. There's a handful of supplements I take every day. But most of the other things I take off 2 days a week. I take off the weekends or Tuesday and Thursday. I just don't take my vitamins those days. My body kind of recovers and says, okay, all right, well, all right. And then when I take mine, it goes, oh yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's good. That way you're not overwhelming the system. Women's hormones. So we talked about estrogen, and this was the thing I was looking for earlier. Remember I talked about estrogen's excitatory, progesterone's calming. If you don't get pregnant, estrogen goes down, and after all that exciting, that PMS, estrogen comes up and says, I got you, girl, I got you. We're going to just calm down. We're good. Well, we think that this is reproductive years. That's perimenopause. We hope that that's what's happening, but that's not what's happening. That's what's happening. It is a wild ride. So why am I talking about this? We have supplements that help regulate perimenopause. They are non-hormonal, but they help regulate them. This is a very good supplement. They have a whole range from libido to postmenopause, menopause, perimenopause, PMS. They have a whole range. And then last but not least, brain and cognition. Your brain is 70% fat. Has anybody ever heard that our gut is the second brain? Your gut makes serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine, K2, melatonin. This is leaky gut. That's a healthy gut lining. So what's happening is parasites, food, bacteria, all kinds of stuff that's not supposed to go in the bloodstream goes in the bloodstream, causes a lot of problems. So what to do? We want to patch up those holes. This is a fantastic probiotic. Oh, I already told you all that. It helps make all kinds of healthy things for you. I already said all this. They also prevent bad bacteria from getting into your blood, actually. So why am I bringing up this one? This is called a gardener in our field. It's different than regular probiotics. This is called a spore probiotic. It literally goes in your gut lining and it helps the good bacteria flourish. And it, like a gardener, it picks out the bad bacteria and makes them die. So they did Just Thrive. I'm on this. My husband's on this. We go on and off it. My cat is on the pet version. This is great stuff. They did a study about 6 years ago. I know. They did a study about 6 years ago in Champaign-Urbana. Everybody in the study had to have leaky gut. Okay, they had a placebo and a test group. The only thing that the people in the test group had to do was take one of these a day. They were college students. They did not have to change anything they did. I don't know if you know what a college student's life is like, but it's chaotic to say the least, depending especially on what choices they make. At the end of 1 month, only taking one of these a day, 80% of people no longer had leaky gut. 80%. That's crazy. That's amazing. And then fish oil. Your brain is 80% fat, and you need fat. It lowers the risk of mood disorders, and it's anti-inflammatory to the brain. It helps reduce low mood and anxiousness. This is a really good one because it's 2,100. 2,000 to 4,000 is considered a therapeutic dose. 1,000 is an average dose. This is very cost effective because you can just take one. You don't really have to take 2,000. So this says it's 120. That's a 4-month supply. That's a 4-month supply. It's fantastic. That's what I have my husband on. It's a great one. Ocean Blue is a very, very good brand. And last but not least, if you have somebody who doesn't like fish oil, maybe somebody who's on the spectrum or a young child. What flavor do I have? That's key lime. This is citrus sorbet. This tastes like a dreamsicle. Remember dreamsicles from when we were a kid? This tastes like a dreamsicle. It's fantastic. You can use this for 4 years and up. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I went over a little bit. Do you have any questions?